Hello, my name's Lyn Barlow. I'm Director of Creative Industries for the University of the West of England here in Bristol, and I'm going to talk to Sir Peter Bazalgette, Chairman of Arts Council England, about a new partnership between the university and the Arnolfini. Sir Peter, hello, welcome to Bristol.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Very nice to be back here, particularly on a brilliant spring day when the city is looking at its finest.
It's glorious, isn't it? Can I ask you some really basic questions so we can understand some context? Can you tell me what Arts Council England is?
Yeah, Arts Council England is a development agency for arts and culture, and it gets about 700 million, but I'm afraid this year it'll be slightly less, about 650 million, both from the taxpayer and from the lottery, to invest in arts and culture. And that's from very large arts organisations to very small ones. And we call ourselves a development agency because we're all about developing talent and developing the arts and cultural infrastructure around the country.
So it's quite a lot of money to spend.
It's a lot of money in one sense and very little money in another. Bear in mind that we spend 112 billion on the health service.
Yes, I can see that it's not that much when you say it in that context. So how do you decide who are the recipients, organisations, individuals, projects of Arts Council money? How does that work? If I'm in Bristol and I think I've got a great project, how do I persuade you?
Well, all Arts Council funding is done on an competitive application basis against a set of criteria. But we spend most of the taxpayers' money, which is about 3/5 of the cake, on what we call national portfolio organisations, and there are approximately 700, actually 688 of those, and they're the larger arts organisations, and we make 3-year agreements with them, and we've just started a new 3-year agreement this month, which will last the next 3 years. But actually for companies who want to be arts and cultural organisations who want to be national portfolio organisations, you know, it comes around quite quickly, so people will be applying for the next 3-year thing within about 18 months, because that's how long the process takes. Then we tend to spend lottery money on smaller arts organisations and individual artists. We have a particular scheme called Grants for the Arts, which is going to be worth about 75 million this year. And we also have a thing called Creative People and Places, which is specifically aimed at areas of low arts take-up. So there are cold spots in the country where people don't go to arts organisations and don't get offered arts and cultural content as much as other places, and we're specifically trying to develop the arts infrastructure in those areas. So there's a number of schemes.
Okay, so you have targets like diversity, equality, all those kind of things, and you promote and help people achieve arts and cultural expectations of output across the country.
Yeah, we want great arts and culture for everyone. That's what we say is our mission. But you mentioned diversity and equality. You know, one of the principles is that public money should not only be for the benefit of everyone, but also should draw on the talents of everyone. And actually in arts and culture we can do better. And we've actually asked all those national portfolio organisations, those MPOs, to sign up something we call the Creative Case for Diversity, where we're saying to them, how can you make your programme appeal to a wider section of people? How can you make your audiences more diverse? The employment statistics actually of arts and cultural organisations are not bad. They're better than the media industry in general, but we can all work on this. We have to draw, when we're talking about public assets, it has to be for everyone, drawing on everyone's talent.
Because you're on record many times saying that you believe that it's an investment, it's not a subsidy. Investment in
subsidy, don't like that word.
No.
Don't like that word. Subsidy is a sort of passive word. It's a sort of lean on a walking stick word. Investment is a word that has some dynamism in it, that expects an output, a delivery, a result. And that's why I like that. So they had the big theatre awards called the Olivier Awards on TV in London on Sunday night. And I've tried to stop them using the word publicly subsidised theatre, and I thought I'd persuaded them to take it out, but still they said it, and I was going, no, it's investment!
And investment makes it clear, really, investment in people and places, and as you say, it's that expectation that you actually have to give something in return, which is important, I think.
Well, the output is the delivery, if you like, of public good, and actually arts and cultural organisations are not, they're good at saying we do great theatre, or we put on great exhibitions, or we make great dance shows. They're not quite so good as saying what the public good is, as in education, opportunity, inspiration, quality of life, driving a tourism offer. These are all some of the benefits and delivery of public good from arts and culture, and we do need to be better at articulating them.
And that brings us nicely to why you're in town this evening, actually. That's about education and partnership. I know you're a great fan of partnership. Now, I work for the University of the West of England. My job is to embed industry into the curriculum, which is a very nice job to have indeed. And we're very excited about this partnership that we have with you and Arnolfini. What do you think? What's making you excited about this partnership?
Well, the partnership that's, I think, pretty well finalised now between UWE and Arnolfini is one of a number of really exciting examples around the country where universities are broadening their definition of what they do. They're saying we're placemakers, we're investors in our local community. Our graduates, or some of our graduates, are going to contribute to the local community and economy when they graduate. We want to find them places which are practical, where they can study. And the fact that you're going to have your students in the Arnolfini, a real working art exhibition space, coming in through the front door, doing their graphic design and their other study, mingling with the public, seeing real artwork achieved and exhibitions created. And that the Arnolfini is going to benefit from that injection of young enthusiasm and talent is really good. And so in the future, because you want students to have a better experience, I think, because you want to create a better place for people to come and work and indeed students to come and study, you want to attract good talent to your university and your city, and because eventually you are a partner in the success of Bristol. This is an example, this partnership is an example of that strategic alliance.
And what would you say to those people in the city or the region who might say, I don't know what all the fuss is about? Why so much attention going into what was a contemporary art space? How would you see it benefiting the wider community?
Well, look, the first point to make is that a city of Bristol's richness and reputation should have a thriving art gallery. It's not a secret the Arnolfini, for some years, has had problems. It's got a new team now behind it, but this partnership with the university, using its space more creatively, more imaginatively, and more remuneratively, from the point of view of the gallery, means that the university is helping to perpetuate a quality gallery in this great city of Bristol. So, I mean, that's the first point to make. You're helping the Arnolfini not just survive, but prosper. And that's important for the city. And then, secondly, the creative students that you have in various creative disciplines who will work here, who will be inspired here, and many of whom will stay here, will set up creative businesses in this place that will not just benefit the economy, but will make this a better place to live and improve the quality of life in Bristol. So right across those different areas, I don't want to overplay it because it's one example of a partnership, but that's what it represents and that's the promise it has.
And do you see that as the way forward in other places as well, really, that you're partnering with HE organisations, with cultural and creative organisations, with local authorities, with local business? Is that the way forward, do you think?
So as I travel around the country, which I do all the time, I could tell you that the University of Northumbria is a partner in an art gallery called Baltic 39 in Newcastle, that the University of Sunderland's taken over the National Glass Centre, that University of Teesside is now helping to run MIMA, a modern art gallery in Middlesbrough, that University of Derby has opened up a theatre. I could give you many other examples. So this is really something that's happening, and it's great for arts and culture, but it has a wider significance that we've discussed.
And my final question is, we're 3 weeks away from a general election, Sir Peter. Who would get your vote? You talk that you don't think your budget's going to be as big post May the 7th.
I am not a member of any political party. No. I'm scrupulously impartial. But
I said what, not who. Asked who, not what. No,
okay.
What, not who.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Absolutely.
What
would get your vote?
But what I would say is this. I think there is new thinking around arts and culture funding. Not just the input of higher education, which we've discussed, but the way in which arts and culture fits into the broader creative industries. It supplies the talent for the creative industries that creates the economic value later on. The creative industries are now 5% of the economy, and they're growing much faster than the economy, they're growing jobs faster than the economy. So what gets my vote is the government that wakes up to the value of arts and culture within the creative industries and said we must cherish this and we must invest in it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.